Ladies and gents, this is Budapest. Now this is a city of unbelievably beautiful buildings, thermal baths and a river that splits it into two. So from the hills of Buda to the busy streets of Pest, it's full of history and it is an amazing place to spend a week or even a weekend. And let me tell you, I think it's better than Prague. So let's take a look at 10 beautiful places to visit in Budapest. So when you land in Budapest, the best place to start is Hero Square, built in 1896, and it marks the end of the Andrassy Avenue, which is Budapest's Champs-Élysées-esque boulevard, full of upmarket stores and cafes and restaurants. And atop the pillar, right in the centre of the square, is the Archangel Gabriel, holding a cross and the Holy Crown of Hungary. And in front of the pillar, there's a large stone tomb or cenotaph, surrounded by a metal fence. The monument is called the Millennium Monument and stands in tribute to those who have died defending the freedom of Hungary. It's just a good way to start your exploration in Budapest. Vajdahunyad Castle stands proudly within the city of Budapest, right next to the Szechenyi Baths, and behind Hero Square. Now it might look like a medieval structure, but it was actually built in 1896 as part of the Millennium exhibition. Now the funny thing is the castle was built out of wood and cardboard and only rebuilt from stone and brick in 1908, after becoming very popular among both locals and visitors. And overall, the castle itself is absolutely beautiful, so it's a great way to take some snaps and enjoy the surroundings. Number 3 is to take a dip in one of the famous thermal baths. So it doesn't matter if you're visiting in the summer or winter, checking out one of the local thermal baths definitely is one of the top things to do in the city. The Szechenyi Baths opens around 7 AM, closes around 8, but I can highly recommend that you plan your visit as early or as late as possible just to avoid the crowds, especially on weekends or in the summer holidays. So like right now in August, it is jam-packed. The bath itself is located in a historic building, with several pools and saunas, and outside you will find 2 huge basins. Number 4 takes us to St. Stevens Basilica, and it stands proudly in the centre of the city. The Roman Catholic Basilica is named after the first king of Hungary, who ruled from 975 to 1038. With the capacity to house up to 8,500 people, it's not only the largest church in Budapest, but the whole country. So while the exterior of the church is quite impressive, I'm pretty sure the interior will leave you speechless. The roof, the 96-meter high dome, are all lined with gold and ornate religious reliefs. And to the left of the main altar, the mummified right hand of St. Stephen is kept in a glass case. Now of course there are several Instagram spots in and around St. Stephen's Basilica, but I think you might get the best by going to the panorama lookout, which has a 360-degree view of the city. Number 5 is the Hungarian Parliament, and this is situated on the UNESCO-listed banks of the Danube River. Easily one of the finest examples of Gothic and Renaissance architecture in the world. And for me, It is up there with some of the most beautiful buildings, one being the Duomo in Milan. So there's well over 600 rooms. It took 17 years to complete and finished in 1902. I do think it's best viewed from a distance or at night. I believe the number one way to see it is to go along the Danube River by boat. Now, number 6 only makes this list for one reason. The Chain Bridge is one of the most iconic and beautiful bridges which span the Danube River, right in the heart of Budapest. The Parliament building on the Pest side and the Royal Palace and Fisherman's Bastion on the Buda side. Now, a walk over the bridge, or better yet, to see it right after sunset when the bridge and monuments light up, is the number one reason why you would visit. Because let's be real here, nobody flies to another country just to look at a bridge, unless you're going to China. Now, as you can see in the distance, the awe-inspiring Buda Castle, which started all the way back in 1265. And over the years, it was rebuilt and added to, and the new Baroque-style palace you see today was finally finished in 1769. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. So now the former royal palace houses the Budapest History Museum and the Hungarian National Gallery. So the grounds are open 24/7, but the Buda Castle's hours are the same as the museum and gallery. And those times are Tuesday to Sunday from 10 AM to 6 PM. So it's interesting to wander around the castle grounds, but you get the best view of Buda Castle from the riverbank on the Pest side. Now, number 8 is my favourite part of visiting Budapest. So, although the Fisherman's Bastion looks like a medieval castle, it was actually built between 1895 and 1902 in a neo-Gothic style, specifically to act as a panoramic viewing platform across the Danube, Margaret Island, and Pest. But today the structure stands where there was once a large wall, protecting Buda Castle from enemy attacks. And legend has it that the building was protected by a guild of fishermen, which is what gave the bastion its name. Now, if you want to get the best photos at Fisherman's Bastion, you should get there in time for sunrise. Not only to beat the crowds, but also because the structure itself and the view looks super cool in the soft morning light. So just remember, Fisherman's Bastion is free to visit 24/7, however the upper area has a very small entrance fee, just a couple of quid. And just in front of Fisherman's Bastion, right at the heart of Buda's Castle district, you'll find the impressive Matias Church. And part of this Gothic-style cathedral with colourful tiled roof was built back in the late 1300s, which means it's one of the oldest buildings in Budapest. Also, the inside is just as impressive as the exterior. Did you know there's a waterfall in Budapest? Margaret Island is a 2.5 kilometre long island that sits in the middle of the Danube, linked to Buda and Pest by bridges on either side. And you can see Margaret Bridge just here. So it's the city's most impressive green space, covered in parklands and recreational facilities, and the best part is, it's mainly free to explore. Whether you want to grab a book and just chill in one of the rose gardens, or lie down and relax by the waterfall, in the gorgeous Japanese garden. There's even a spectacular musical fountain near Margaret Bridge, which comes alive 4 times a day. So if you want to see something completely unique, try Margaret Island. And there you have it, folks. That's the end of the video. There's probably around 50 things you can do in Budapest, and believe me, that would be a very long video. If you've never been before, these places will get you started, and I think you'll be able to complete these over a weekend. Thanks for watching. Comment below if you want to see a different city break, and subscribe if it's your first time visiting the channel. For more videos, check out the playlist below, and I will see you all on the next one.